I often consider the mechanics of a game one of the most important aspects. It's the entire system that you're playing the game in, and it's especially important how you interact with the game. When I think mechanically pure, I think of games like Super Hot, where there is little story and a dedication to amazing gameplay. That's Gunlock as well. All action, none of the bullshit. Gunlock's defining feature is its arena. It feels like the developer took the Mario Bros. Arcade game from the 80s and expanded it. I would also say Gunlock takes inspiration from Super Crate Box, which has a frantic feeling that is duplicated here. It's just one continuous stage that screen wraps so you can fall completely through the stage or run to the right and appear on the left side. Sure, it helps you get around, but it also means enemies can come from any direction. It's small enough that there's always action, and large enough that you won't get overtaken by enemies. I think they really nailed the level design. Mostly what you'll be doing in these levels is trying not to die. Gunlock is an entirely score-based game, so the longer you last, the bigger your score. You gain score by killing enemies, which are unique for every level and have unique movement systems. There is also a combo meter that multiplies the score you get for each kill. You must be quick because the combo will reset after only a few moments. What's neat is that your body is the timer, so it's very easy to see how much time you have left. It turns one solid color and slowly drains out. After the boss meter fills up in the lower right, the board clears and you and the boss have to fight it out. While you need to beat the boss once to unlock the next stage, it's not the end of the run. The enemies will come back and you will repeat the process for as long as you can to get a bigger score. The game gives you a lot of freedom for movement. You get a double jump, you can stick to walls and jump off them, and super jump off of enemies. The trade-off is that you're extremely fragile. It's a one-hit and you're dead kind of game. It's also extremely precise, and if you don't land directly on the enemy's head, the run is over. Extremely precise. Maybe too much. I can't lie, I did get a little frustrated at some of the jumps, and I think the tie should always go to the player. There are plenty of opportunities in this game to die. There's no need making more frustrating deaths. Anyway, jumping on them isn't the only way to kill enemies. You get a random gun to start as well. Each weapon has a different amount of ammo, and the only way to get more ammo without switching guns is to jump on more enemies. I'm a huge fan of this mechanic as it forces you to vary your gameplay up. But there's a new gun almost always available on the stage, and it gives you score to pick it up. I found some of the weapons are better than others, so you might want to dump a gun quickly. Even on the most basic enemies, some of them take multiple shots to kill them. It's kind of a pain in the ass. I don't think you can rely on guns alone. Many of them are too inaccurate to be useful in all situations. I found they're best for bosses and certain situations to keep the combo going. I had a lot more success jumping on enemies and collecting the guns for score. When you're focusing on aiming too much, a lot can go wrong since enemies are coming from all directions. Either way, I found the controls tight and the mix of jumping and shooting extremely fun. The enemies that you'll be against vary from flying flaming skulls to a snowman. Each have a unique jump or movement pattern that keeps each stage fresh. The patterns are mostly predictable. This is so important because part of the game is quickly deciding which enemy to kill next. It gives you the opportunity to assess the stage and decide if you're going to be in danger soon. The enemies that are less predictable either move slower or are given context if they're outside the screen. The bosses are also predictable but quite difficult. They're larger and fill up more of the screen, so difficult to dodge, with a health bar that requires you to learn their pattern and stay one step ahead of them. The developer put in the time to make all the enemies unique to their stage. Get frustrated on one level and you can just switch to another one for a different experience. It's great. I think it's important to how good the game is that there are many different enemy types. A few things you should be aware of before purchasing this game. It's a pattern-based game, and you'll need to memorize those patterns before you're able to get much further into the game. It does take a lot of skill to play, but knowing those patterns is key, which will lead you to dying because you don't know what an enemy is going to do. That's just the game. Second, it's short. I'm talking only 3 levels short, so it's really short. It's also really cheap at $2, so I didn't have a problem with this at all. There are different guns and color palettes to unlock with the gold you pick up in the stage, so even if you beat the 3 levels quickly, getting the guns might be worth it to mix it up as well. Also, there are leaderboards that you want to get on top of, and you gotta practice and play to get on top of those, so there's plenty of game here. Third, the last stage is made of ice. You slip and slide around, and while I still find it enjoyable, it's the weakest, because you have less control over your character. I know the developers wanted to mix it up, but it's not great. Maybe an anti-gravity or stage hazards would have been better to try. Overall, Gunlock is good, great even. A distillation of arena combat in their own style. The game isn't a looker, and there's no story to speak of. It's pure arcade fun. It has great controls and a lot of weapons. I really enjoyed going for the high scores. This means a lot of replayability if you want to see yourself at the top of the charts. I hope you'll give it a shot and let me know what you think. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed this game. I had a lot of fun playing it just for like $2. I figured randomly I would pick it up and it paid off. I know there's a lot of crap on Steam right now, so it's kind of a crap shoot. Haha! I'll talk to you later. Bye.